Today on Beyond the 208.
Here's Kate Bush with a song called Running Up That Hill.
Budget cuts proposed by the Trump administration could silence a beloved radio station in Washington.
It was one of the hardest decisions in my life.
A musician's instrument is an extension of who they are. Now one man is working to buy back his cello after selling it to flee a war. It's not about being romantic, it's about being practical. We'll tell you how a creative take is changing how you find a roommate living in an expensive city and how a mixer works to speed up the process. Today, people lined the streets in North Idaho to honor one of the two firefighters killed in a deadly ambush that happened a few weeks ago. Coeur d'Alene Fire Department held a celebration of life this morning for firefighter Frank Harwood. While the ceremony was not open to the public, the community lined the streets for the procession to show their support. And yesterday, people also lined up for a similar one to pay their respects to the other firefighter killed in the ambush, John Morrison. Both men were responding to a fire in the Canfield Mountain area. They are already greatly missed in their community. Beyond the 208, there's a farm in downtown Boise that's doing much more than growing food. Downtown Denver. Totally normal mistake. Ann Herbst at our sister station in Colorado takes us to the farm to see what they grow in Denver and how it does more than just feed the community.
Farm work is no joke, but it requires a sense of humor.
I would say that I'm a food nerd.
And some heart, and a little bit of height.
I didn't get this big looking at it.
Tommy Butler has all that. Experience, too.
I'm a fourth generation farmer from New Jersey, the Garden State. So it's kind of in my blood, farming.
Tommy's the farm manager at Altius Farms, a downtown Denver oasis of green.
This is called romaine fusion.
Aimed at making a little green.
We're very fortunate to have several fancy pants restaurants that have this on their menu.
The money made from selling produce at Altius goes back to the farm. It's also one of Jewish Family Services' 30-plus programs. They help 23,000 people per year with everything from mental health counseling to food security to housing help.
365 days of year, we are providing these greens for our community.
Sally Herbert founded it as a way to get local food to people and as a way to help fund JFS programs when government grants dry up.
We are anticipating that, and we're putting plans in place to handle that. We will see the profitability from this farm be able to help the whole of JFS.
This kind of fiscal creativity stocks shelves at JFS's Weinberg Food Pantry.
It just shows you
Linda Foster
what the need is in the community.
Keeps an eye on products and prices as the president and CEO of Jewish Family Services.
And when government funding is impacted, we're impacted across our agency in so many different ways.
The organization receives $4 million annually in federal grants. So far this year, they say they haven't received $250,000 of that.
I think I'm more stressed than I've ever been. I will admit that. The amount of government grants we're getting, have gotten in the past, we're not going to be getting in the future. And so we need to find other ways to fund.
A pivot that doesn't look like grants or fundraising.
There were definitely times when I would not eat my peas.
Tommy's learned over the years
And now I love peas.
that eating veggies grows strong humans. And now everyone at Altius Farms hopes they keep budgets healthy too. In Denver, Ann Herbst, 9 News.
In addition to the greens Altius grows, they've also began growing mushrooms that are in high demand by restaurants and consumers. The operation believes this will help boost farm profits and help fund the work at Jewish Family Services in Denver. After more than half a century, a beloved voice of the Skagit Valley could be silenced. Trump administration budget cuts means that KSVR radio could go off the air in a matter of months. Eric Wilkinson from our sister station in Seattle reports on efforts to save the station.
You're listening to Skagit Valley College Community Radio, KSBR.
Ben Mason says he was the kid with the iPod earbuds in all the time.
91.7 FM here.
His love for music led him to the airwaves at KSBR 17 years ago. Those earbuds now replaced by headphones.
Here's Kate Bush with a song called Running Up That Hill.
Ben's love for music rivaled only by his love for this radio station.
That would be a terrible loss, in my opinion.
KSVR, operated by Skagit Valley College, is at risk of losing its entire $350,000 annual budget to cuts by the Trump administration. The proposed cuts are part of $1.1 billion in federal reductions to the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, which funds PBS and NPR. The Trump administration arguing a liberal bias precludes the organization from taxpayer funding, going so far as to call PBS anti-American. At KSVR, in addition to music, the station provides news, public affairs shows, and emergency information. About half of the station's programming is in Spanish, catering to a wide Latino population across the Skagit Valley. It's radio that speaks directly to that community with the intent of leading people to higher education.
It enables us to be able to be within that community and be able to serve them and make sure that they're aware that we're here as a opportunity for them.
The college's new vice president of administrative services says Skagit Valley is trying to secure additional grants and donations to keep the radio station on the air, but difficult decisions may lie ahead.
We're working hard to find those dollars, but there are no promises at this point.
Here's Barton the Bedazzled with a song called Blue Motel.
For Ben, KSBR is community, radio by, for, and of the people. He just hopes others see and hear the true value in that.
It'll be a loss, and so we're going to do our best to fight to stay on the air.
College administrators say their funding is secure through October 1st, but if those looming federal cuts do come, after that, KSVR's days could be numbered. In Mount Vernon, Eric Wilkinson, King 5 News.
Over the border now to the state of Oregon. I want to introduce you to a Vancouver musician building a new life after fleeing war-torn Ukraine. One who says he had to sell off his prized cello in order to support his family during their escape. Catherine Cook at our sister station in Oregon talks about how he's rebuilding his dream one note at a time.
Tuning up in the orchestra pit and warming up on stage. All of it brings riffs of excitement for cellist Nikolai Dorosh. On this night, the Broadway Rose Theater Company will present Waitress.
I'm happy to be here because it's really interesting music and really high quality musician.
And yet, it's a world away from where Nikolai was just 3 years ago, living in Ukraine and performing around the world with the Ukraine National Symphony. All of it changed when Russia invaded Ukraine. Nikolai remembers the explosions as he gathered up his wife and kids.
Said them, wake up, we go to travel.
One of the few items Nikolai packed was his beloved cello. Made by a renowned German craftsman, it cost him around $40,000. But as they fled for the U.S., Nikolai sold it to help support his family.
It was one of the hardest decisions in my life. My kids, my family, it's number one.
For quite a while, Nikolai set aside his music. He took other jobs like rideshare driving as his family started over in Vancouver. Then, in a twist of fate, he met PSU cello professor Hamilton Chaffetz.
So my former student reached out to me and said, there's a cellist here who came recently from Ukraine. Maybe you should meet him.
By then, Nikolai had purchased a student cello just so he could play again. Hamilton connected him with community orchestras and other opportunities to rebuild his career.
When I heard him play, I was just so impressed with not only how well he played, but what he was communicating.
You know, Hamilton became for me, I call him my musical father.
With each opportunity to play,
we are incredibly lucky to have him.
Nikolai is one step closer to what he lost. That includes his beloved cello. Those here understand.
A musician's instrument is their heart and soul.
He started this GoFundMe hoping to raise enough money to buy a new cello from the same craftsman. It's true. Nikolai is a world away from his past, but now he knows
Continue playing.
all the world's a stage.
All right, here in the 208, maybe you're looking to get outside, but you're stuck attached to your internet? Well, good news, everyone. The city of Boise is now offering free Wi-Fi in some major city parks. It's thanks in part to funds from the American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, that was set into law by the Biden administration previously. And our Tyson White joins us live on the 208 from Cherie Buckner Webb Park in downtown Boise, telling us about how Parks and Rec put the program into place. Good afternoon, Tyson.
Afternoon, Joe, and it's a great afternoon to work out of a park like this. I know you talked about that being your dream on the news at 4, but I'm living it for you, just so you can experience that vicariously. But the plan stemmed from having to set up temporary Wi-Fi for big events at places like Ann Morrison and Julia Davis Park and Cecil DeAndres Park as well. Now that free Wi-Fi is available in 5 Boise parks as well as the Grove Plaza, and it's the same Wi-Fi that's seen at the Boise Airport as well as the Boise Library branches. And the city got about $2 million of ARPA funds, like you mentioned, in 2022 to begin building that infrastructure needed to get Wi-Fi access points in those parks. Boise kicked in another $300,000 to help fund that work. And when it comes to connecting to the Wi-Fi, Senior Infrastructure Services Manager Adam Reno says the signal strength depends on where you're at in those bigger parks.
The signal strength depends on how far away you are from the actual access point themselves. Covering a park this big is actually pretty difficult. So we ended up targeting the areas that people frequent the most. So the picnic shelters, the playgrounds, the pathways where people gather, ball fields, etc. But the closer you are to the access point, the greater the signal strength.
Now, with the addition of fiber optics and power throughout Ann Morrison, Julia Davis, and Andrus parks, the department has been able to add security cameras as well as deploy AED devices in those bigger parks. And the hope is to add more free Wi-Fi to most city parks in the future with future upgrades and improvements. And Joe, coming up today on the news at 6, we're going to talk to a woman who heard about the free Wi-Fi and shares her thoughts on the benefits that it could give to folks that is staying connected in those parks while also being outside and enjoying the really nice weather the city has to offer around here.
Tyson, I'm glad you're having a good Friday afternoon, getting work done outside. We'll talk soon. Have a good day, Tyson. Goodbye.
I tell you what, Tyson had the right idea. If you're going to be outside in a park right now under a shady tree, the perfect place to be, because out in the blazing sunshine, it's going to feel a little bit toasty. We're sitting at 90 degrees in Boise right now, upper 80s in Twin Falls. Mountains also the place to be, right around 80 in McCall, low 80s with a few clouds in Sun Valley. Otherwise, it is blue skies across the region. Hey, for anyone keeping track of our triple-digit days thus far in 2025 in Boise, we are at 3 at the moment. Most recently, of course, just a few days days ago, July 8th. It does look likely as we look ahead to the weekend and early next week that we will tack on at least 1, maybe 2 to that number. It won't happen tomorrow. We'll land in the mid-90s tomorrow. That heat continues to build, though, through Sunday into Monday. So not all models are agreeing on 100 for Sunday, but still, even if it's just 99, it's going to be a scorching weekend. And then we'll see that heat reach its peak, at least for this round, on Monday. All of that brought to us by a ridge of high pressure that is sitting over the desert southwest right now and will continue amplifying northward over the weekend. All the orange you see here up and down the west coast and into Nevada, those are heat advisories that have been issued for Saturday, Sunday, and or Monday. We're talking mid to upper 90s, even in places like Portland. Over the weekend, that is scorching for folks along the west coast. No heat advisories in place for us yet, but it is going to be very hot in the coming days. So those outdoor activities, your park time, it'll be best early in the morning or later in the evening as you get a little bit closer to sunset. Here's the other thing we're watching over the weekend. There is a possibility due to some fires burning in Northern California and those couple fires burning in central Idaho. We could have some smoke trickling into portions of southeast Oregon and southern Idaho. It doesn't look like it'll be real thick. The blue shading here indicates the lowest levels of surface smoke. I think that Treasure Valley stays clear, but still portions of Malheur County, even Elmore County by the end of the weekend could start seeing that haze developing on the horizon. So we'll keep an eye on air quality in the coming days as well. Like I said, mornings are the time to get out and about. Here's what we'll wake up to on your Saturday morning. Low 60s across the Snake Plain. Clear skies early. Stanley starting off at 41. Look at this temperature swing, though, in Stanley up to 86 degrees out there at Redfish Lake. We'll be in those mid to even upper 90s across the Treasure Valley tomorrow. Low 90s for the Magic Valley, Fairfield into Haley, pushing 90 degrees tomorrow afternoon. We'll continue to see those temps inch up through Monday afternoon. Then a dry cold front comes in on Tuesday. That will knock us back down to a balmy 95 for Tuesday and Wednesday. Nothing but sunshine overhead, though, for the next week with hot conditions every afternoon.
A new take on looking for a roommate. It's called speed roommating, and San Diegans, I should say, got their chance at finding a perfect match Esmeralda Perez with our sister station in California shows us this idea.
At Stout Public House, an Irish pub in the heart of downtown, strangers came together for an event called Speed Roommating, a chance to connect with a future roommate if there's a connection. Selena Baroni has been searching for a place to live for about 2 months. She was one of the first to show up.
A lot of plans have just fallen through on me, so this came up and I hadn't heard of it, so I figured try it out.
San Diego's enjoyable weather, scenic views, and attractions come at a steep cost for residents. New data from Zillow shows the average rent in San Diego has topped more than $3,100. That's 14% higher than Los Angeles and 50% higher than Austin, Texas.
So what's the purpose of these stickers?
So they're more icebreakers.
Spare Room, a roommate finding platform, hosted the event with a goal of helping people find an affordable solution to their housing needs. Tonight, I met Baroni, who showed up with hopes of meeting someone with similar interests.
I'm looking for somebody who is another animal lover because I do have a cat. I'm looking for somebody who's also clean and just keeps up after themselves and just a nice, cozy, chill environment.
Well, attendees have two options here. Well, they could either wear this blue sticker that says, I have a room. They put their first name, their rent, the area, neighborhood in which they live in, or they could wear this sticker, this white sticker right here. It says, I need a room. Their first name, their budget, and the area, neighborhood, and where they would like to live.
Mark Miller came out too, but he's not looking for a place. He has one. He's renting out a room and private bathroom in his home.
It's just nice in retirement to have a little extra money each month.
Spare Room founder Robert Hunt says they've held these events in other cities like Phoenix and Texas with the goal to offer face-to-face connection.
I think just meeting in person and getting that human connection is just so important, and there's a real thirst for that now. I think, you know, in all forms, like in dating, it's the same. And nothing beats meeting face to face to understand whether you're going to get on with someone.
Now to the state of Colorado, where the Denver Museum of Nature and Science got a huge surprise recently when they uncovered a dinosaur fossil nearly 800 feet beneath the parking lot. Brian Wendland with our sister station in Denver has the story.
Dinosaur fossils are a big draw at the Denver Museum of Nature and Science. You can find them all over. But when a team of scientists from the museum were doing research in the parking lot back in January, they didn't expect to find one right below their feet.
I mean, the probability, if you had drilled the well 2 feet over, might not have hit it. So it's pretty amazing.
Dr. James Hagedorn led the team drilling into the parking lot. They were digging scientific cores, testing whether or not the museum could transition from natural gas to geothermal energy.
So a scientific core is basically a cylinder of rock that we extract, kind of like a doctor uses a syringe to extract blood from you. So in a way, it is a bunch of dirt. It's kind of ancient dirt, actually.
And nearly 800 feet into that ancient dirt, the fossil showed up.
So one of the surprising things about this dinosaur in particular is that it turns out it's not only Denver's deepest dinosaur, but it's also its oldest.
Those aren't the only records this bone is breaking.
This is the first, and as far as I know, the only dinosaur bone from a core in the world that you can go see. There's only 3 of these that have been discovered on Earth and that have been reported.
Dr. Hagedorn says his paleontologist colleagues determined the bone is the vertebra of a plant-eating dino.
Maybe something similar to the Edmontosaurus over here, or to a Thescelosaurus, or one of their kindred spirits of the time.
And thanks to the rest of the core, he says you can tell the layer the fossil was found near was that of a pond.
So for me, it's pretty neat to see, was that dinosaur drinking water out of that pond or munching on plants nearby? It's just something cool to imagine.
A rare discovery made right beneath his feet.
It is a needle inside of a needle inside of a haystack.
Huh. All right. Well, hey, Channel 7 viewers, we got some exciting news for you. Starting this Monday, we're going to have an extra 2 hours of Wake Up Idaho every single weekday. That's right. We'll be live on the air and streaming weekdays from 5 to 9 a.m. So you can join us on KTVB Plus for even more headlines, weather, and traffic, all up to the minute to get your day started. To watch KTVB Plus, you can download on your TV and watch for free. That means you get more Maggie O'Mara, Justin Core, Hector Mendoza, and Tyson White Monday through Friday. A lot of room for us to tell exciting stories. Hope you'll join us. We will be right back here on the 208. You know what's so Idaho? National French Fry Day. Did you know Senator Jim Risch, he made sure to remind people of the occasion on social media, writing, whether it's steak, waffle, crinkle, curly, or shoestring, be sure to enjoy some Idaho potato fries today. So there you go. There's your excuse to get out there and go get some Idaho potato French fries. Hey, we're out of time. Sorry we didn't get to comments, but we will circle back to that on Monday. We will see you next time on the 208.
Continue with us and watch free now on the KTVB Plus app everywhere you stream.